Australia, a senator has introduced Tzu Chi to the meeting attendees during their Senate meeting. In Taiwan, we take a look at how a group of people is starting to use ramie to make clothes. Selamat datang ke DaAi Headlines, saya Simon Gan. Terima kasih menyertai sesi berita kita. In Australia, Senator Andrew McLachlan has witnessed how Tzu Chi volunteers helped the forest fire-affected residents in 2015 and also visited Jing Si Abode in Taiwan in 2016. At the recent Senate meeting, he has introduced Tzu Chi to the meeting attendees.
I bring to the attention of the Senate the incredibly valuable work of the Taiwanese Buddhist International Humanitarian Organisation, Tzu Chi. I have witnessed firsthand the work that they are doing to assist those in need, especially during the bushfires in my home state of South Australia. Tzu Chi is active in my state of South Australia, and we are very grateful for their charitable work. Upon entering public life, I have had the privilege of attending their year-end blessings ceremonies held in Adelaide. I, along with my state parliamentary colleague, the Honourable Tung No, a member of the South Australian Legislative Council, had the opportunity to deliver a message to the Dharma Master Cheng Yen on behalf of all those South Australians who have benefited from Tzu Chi's valuable charitable work.
We feel humbled by the people who came to help fight the fire, the volunteers in those weeks, and yourselves being here and who've never met any of us, and you're being so generous to us.
One of your members said to us, we're sorry we couldn't get here sooner, but in all honesty, now is the best. It's really wonderful to have support around 3 months after the fire, because we find that everyone's life moves on very quickly.
It just brings back to what we find important, which is people and how you treat each other and how you help each other. Doesn't matter who you are, where you are.
Everybody's friendliness, the lovely warm welcome. Just everything about it is absolutely lovely. It's sort of like meeting friends that you have known for a long, long time.
It's a humbling experience, and wasn't expecting any of this. It's beautiful.
I will conclude my remarks with the words of Dharma Master Cheng Yen, which not only apply to the objectives of the humanitarian organisation that she founded and she continues to inspire, but also the challenging times that we are all facing. With perseverance and courage, the roughest roads can become smooth.
In Malaysia, a dialysis patient, Lim Hon Choo, needed medical assistance as he accidentally injured his right foot in September last year. As the wound festered, 2 of his toes had to be amputated. Later on, TIMA doctors continued to provide care. Here's more.
Wounds are festered and not easy to heal. This is the biggest threat to diabetes patients. TIMA doctors came to assist.
Because the client is undergoing dialysis and has diabetes, his skin is getting darker and darker. At that time, it was really challenging. Then I told him that I would try my best to protect his limbs, but how good they would be, it would depend on his own blessings. He has to speak good words, like to get well soon to his feet.
2 toes on Lim Hon Choo's right foot were amputated. During the nursing process, the doctor gave him good advice on eating habits.
I like to eat, whatever it is. I like fish, meat, and chicken. I will never get tired of eating.
With the cooperation of the physicians, patients, and family members, Lim Hon Choo's difficulties are eventually alleviated.
He hadn't got the government subsidy for the last dialysis, so we spent a lot of money. During the period, Tzu Chi has helped us a lot because a kidney dialysis costs about $33. We were facing difficulties.
With the approval of the government subsidies and Tzu Chi's advice, this couple are gradually moving towards healthy lifestyle.
In Indonesia, a 74-year-old grandma lost her husband, and her two sons suffer from severe depression and can't go to work. Their house was beyond repair for many years and has been infested by termites. After knowing their problem, Tzu Chi volunteers quickly helped rebuild a new cement house for them.
With white hair and staggering steps is 74-year-old Grandma Zhu Di. Her husband has passed away, and her two sons are both severely depressed and unable to work. The house that they lived in for many years was invaded by termites and almost collapsed. So the volunteers hurriedly reached out to help.
The main building material of this house is wood, while the roof is made of bamboo. It is all eaten by termites. As the roof would collapse at any time, Tzu Chi decided to help Grandma repair the house.
The first task of the repair is to remove the original building materials. So the volunteers started the demolition work in December last year and immediately rebuilt the house. The main structure of the house was changed to cement, and the roof was replaced with light steel frame and sheet metal.
The condition of our family is not good, and our life has been difficult. My two sons can work to earn money, so I'm very grateful to Tzu Chi for helping me rebuild my house and also sending us so many things. I really want to thank you very much.
After 2 months, the renovation of Grandma's house was finished, so the volunteers specially organized a simple housewarming for her.
We prepared 2 mattresses, a dining table, chairs, and basic kitchenware for them. These furniture are all from the recycling station. Although they are second-hand, they are still in good quality. This is also a kind of recycling.
In addition to the furniture, volunteers also gave them housewarming gifts so that Grandma's family of 3 can start a new life comfortably in their new home.
In Changhua, a 77-year-old recipient lives in a house filled with trash. Her daughter said that her mother lacked a sense of security, which caused her to hoard. After hearing this, volunteers came to clean the grandma's living environment.
Through many years of hoarding items, care recipient Ama has clutters all over her home. Even her refrigerator is filled. After multiple attempts to receive permissions from Ama, volunteers are now cleaning the environment.
When their family members came back to see Ama, there was nowhere to sit. There was no seats to sit on. After hearing this, we felt bad for her.
In the beginning, Ama was very defensive, so we must thank Tzu Chi brothers and sisters helping us with negotiation.
Ama lost her husband early as she lived a tough life, which made her cherish items. Living alone, she hoards items in order to feel a sense of security.
When I was little, my father passed away. We lived a tough life and she changed. It was very tough for us, and the lack of something caused her to hoard items.
On the same day, another group of volunteers arrived to a nearby village, cleaning the home of another grandma living in the sheet metal house.
She's a bit slow in the brain, so she started to collect and store recyclables in her home.
We have to make it easier for her to go in and for her to sleep better.
Not afraid of the mess, volunteers cleaned the home thoroughly, hoping to elevate the grandma's living quality.
In Taiwan, Hualien Tzu Chi Medical Center has started to use a specimen collection robot for COVID virus inspection. The robot is able to find the most suitable inspection position through face detection. Therefore, it lessens the discomfort of the examinee while undergoing the examination. Let's take a look.
To avoid COVID-19 infection within the hospital, Hualien Tzu Chi Medical Center has set up an outdoor examination booth that uses specimen collection robots.
During the pandemic, Ministry of Science and Technology and other government agencies hope they can insert chips into a robotic arm and use it in specimen collection.
With these inspection points on the nose clip and 2 other inspection points, the robot is able to detect the best position to insert inspection stick. It also built up the 3D model of the examinee's face to lessen the discomfort of the examinee.
For medical professionals, they do not need to face the patients as they collect specimen, so it's safer for them. For the examinee, he can lessen the discomfort during the specimen collection procedure.
Utilizing the robots for specimen collection, medical professionals no longer have to face the risk of infection while taking off their protective gowns and can be safer when serving patients.
Ramie was one of the raw materials for making clothes when cotton and plastic fibers have yet to emerge. Recently, some ramie craftsmen have emerged. Besides being creative and maintaining culture, ramie is also an eco-friendly material to work with. Here's more.
The inconspicuous plant ramie in this field was the main material of early clothing in Taiwan.
It needs to be in the sun and it needs enough moisture.
Ramie is a perennial herb. The leaves are heart-shaped and the white underside has dense fine hairs showing a silver appearance.
It's very easy to cultivate, but a place where it is planted cannot lack sunlight. There must be sunlight, and in the past, our red ramie grew to 2 meters in height.
Located in the mountain road to Shui Pa National Park in Miaoli, the Maphihao tribal village is about 3 hours away from Taipei. The apprentices from the plains came here to learn from these artisans from the Maphihao tribe as they peel the ramie fiber one by one.
I do it this way and then I pull it like this. I have to twist it first and then wash it and dye it again so that I can make clothes.
The teacher Gao Lanying demonstrates the most traditional method of scraping ramie fiber as done by the Maphihao tribal village. With a special scraper, the fiber from the ramie stem is manually taken out.
Because I'm trying to reduce plastics and doing more eco-friendly things, I want to learn if there are traditional things to replace our current use of plastics.
Ramie is an important cultural heritage that the Maphihao tribe has recovered in recent years. In addition to establishing the clan's artisan certification system, it's also open to outsiders to experience.
它这个色泽应该是天然的那个，
有的这一根就比较深的。
对，那天然的这样子搭起来就很好看。本身一开始在学织布。
I started to learn weaving, so I really wanted to learn the traditional ramie production process. It's not easy, as it requires 8 processes.
下来不简单。
After studying for 2 days and 1 night, these students have a preliminary understanding of ramie craftsmanship, but it may take several years to learn about how to use ramie to make clothes or utensils. After taking out the fiber and drying it for a few hours, you can start making it into threads.
One reason is because it is easier to do finer threads, and on the one hand it's better, so it's easier to pull it off.
Like when they were walking, they would hang it around their necks as they go to work in the mountain. It may take more than an hour to go from here to that mountain, and this time would be wasted. So they just hang it around their necks like this and do it.
For Tile women, weaving is a necessary part of their culture. Women in traditional tribes can weave only after they get tattooed. People without facial tattoos cannot be respected and recognized by the tribe, let alone get married.
At 10 years old, I watched Mom do it next to another woman. I kept sitting next to them and I was very interested. I hope that the next generation will be even better than us.
The fibers of the ramie stem are assembled into several strands, then it is twisted into one. After the thread is finished, the fibers are twisted into threads by hand to make clothes. It's an important crop that was indispensable to the life of those in the tribe in the early years. With the opening of the industrial age, the Tile people began to sell ramie fibers to garment factories for weaving during the Japanese occupation.
Only when they sell ramen can they have money and food. Life was really hard because they used to be only get $1 a day in income.
However, cotton was soon imported during the period of U.S. aid to Taiwan and gradually replaced ramie as a textile material. After the 1970s, ramie had no economic value and gradually disappeared from the tribe. Now that ramie has begun to revive again, it is necessary to develop more products that meet the needs of modern people. For making early necessities of people in the tribe to becoming a cash crop, the passing down of ramie craftsmanship is a precious memory transferred from the ancestors to the Maphihao tribe, who hopes that this handicraft will soon bring many benefits to them in this modern era.
In Jakarta, Indonesia, people are still celebrating the Lunar New Year. Next, we take a look at the newly completed Chinatown, which is filled with New Year festivities.
The 5,500 square meter land at Pantai Indah Kapuk is a newly developed square. After a year of planning and 12 months of construction, Penkoran Square finally opened to the public on November 7, 2020. Penkoran is the name for Chinatown in Jakarta. Traditional Chinese food can be found here. There are also old shops that have lasted for generations. There are food that people miss. People in Jakarta know the old coffee shops. The square design has been completed with the Old Town Area Plan as the blueprint.
Up
till now, people are still interested. They are very curious about the location of the restaurants. Indonesia has incorporated different cultures, especially in Jakarta.
The stone memorial archway is stately and delicate. Memorial archway is a trademark of Chinese architecture, and people like to take photographs here. Looking around, one sees the kiosks and pavilions. Although the square area is not very big, there are many ancient designs. While the place is open to the public, pandemic prevention measures are implemented.
Jam operasional yang juga lebih condong ke siang hari, pagi dan siang hari.
The operation hours are in the daytime, while it's also open at night. There are limitations to encourage people to buy takeout. There are discounts and better services.
Kita untuk olahan yang paket untuk take away.
Penkoran Square will hold entertainment events such as ancient instrument performance or dances to attract tourists during the Lunar New Year. It creates business for the restaurants and also increases work opportunities.
In Indonesia, entrepreneur Pui Sudarto is a Tzu Chi volunteer. He has been contributing to society and also volunteering with Tzu Chi. Let's take a look at his story.
To a successful entrepreneur, charity work means more than spending money. They must dedicate their time and efforts to care for people in need.
Sebelum pandemi kita juga
We've been taking actions before the pandemic. We spend 2 days a week to do charity work.
Misalnya pasti kita lakukan sisihkan 2 hari untuk kerja sosial.
Actions speak more than words. Pusudarto, who's a city volunteer, has become an honorary board member. To him, sharing love is a way to inspire and encourage other people.
This year's New Year celebration will be simple. Who wants a red envelope?
Pusudato's success is linked to his family support. He looks forward to getting together with his child, daughter-in-law, and grandchildren. The Lunar New Year is a time for family reunions. This year, to comply with the government's call for simple Lunar New Year celebrations, Pusudato has decided to cancel the big Lunar New Year celebrations at home.
Perayaan Imlek tahun ini kita layakan lebih
We're having a simple Lunar New Year celebration. According to the government's regulation, we cannot hold gatherings, so we just get together with our close families and do not visit relatives.
Karena anjuran pemerintah tidak melakukan berkumpul.
On March 2, 2015, a large fire destroyed a temple with 400 years of history. People felt saddened by the news. Pusudanto took on the responsibility to be in charge of rebuilding the old temple.
Di Tzu Chi selalu mengajarkan, kalau kita melihat orang lain berbahagia,
The Master has taught us to keep a broad mind. When we see others being happy, we feel happy too. This is my life principle. Construction is my profession. When there is need to help with temple reconstruction, I do my part to help out.
Kita bantu apa? Misalnya membangun kelenteng, ya kita ikut ya sebagai ketua pembangunan.
While the pandemic has hindered people's contact with each other, it cannot cut off the friendship. The Lunar New Year is still a time for celebration.
Arti Imlek tahun ini, tahun pandemi ini berarti
This Lunar New Year's message is simplicity and sincerity. I hope the pandemic ends soon. Everyone will be healthy and safe.
In Taichung, Tzu Chi volunteer Lim Hon Choo passed away recently due to cancer. His son used to do recycling at Tzu Chi to pray for his father when he was ill, but now he still continues the recycling mission in memory of his father.
Sorting empty bottles and cans, cleaning dirty cans, Lim Chi-cheng has been doing recycling tasks for a year, originally just to pray for his sick father.
In the past few years, my father's health was not very good, but he always participates in Tzu Chi's recycling activities.
Lim Chi-cheng's father, Lim Hon Choo, was the owner of the printing factory. After retiring, he and his wife devoted themselves to Tzu Chi's activities, especially recycling.
He does everything. He helps with the kitchen work and directs traffic. As long as there's a job he can do, he will participate. He won't be picky.
Lim Hon Choo, who works diligently, passed away on February 13th at the age of 84 due to prostate cancer. His son Lim Chi-cheng decided to follow in his father's footsteps.
It's great to volunteer at Tzu Chi. I feel being in Tzu Chi will make him a better person. I support my son to do so. If everyone comes here to do Tzu Chi, it's good.
The family has turned their sadness into blessings and is determined to continue the path of doing good deeds.
Due to the pandemic, more and more people are changing into a plant-based diet. Oat milk is one of the recent trends. But what's the difference between oat milk, soy milk, and cow's milk? Follow a report as we learn more. Nowadays, a lot of cafes are providing oat milk. Consumers can choose oat milk to replace soy milk or cow's milk. In fact, these milks are different types of food and their nutritional value is also different.
Oat milk contains fibers, which helps reduce the cholesterol levels in our body. The protein content in oat milk is also lower, and the quality is not as complete compared to milk. For oat milk and soy milk, the saturated fat content is much lower than cow's milk, and they both do not contain any cholesterol.
Oat milk, soy milk, and cow's milk have their own specific nutritional value. The public can consume these different products according to one's own needs. However, for diabetic and dialysis patients, they must be careful about the amount when consuming oat milk.
Oat milk is under the same food category as rice, so if you consume oat milk, you need to calculate it as your daily staple food intake. Also, there will also be refined sugar in oat milk, so for patients with kidney problems, due to the fact that oat milk is one of the sources of plant protein, patients with kidney problems must make note when consuming it.
As there are more and more plant-based protein products being introduced to the market, the public must take into consideration the nutritional value of the products and also their own health condition before consuming. By doing so, everyone is able to consume these products with ease. In Texas, due to the heavy snow, Tzu Chi volunteers have provided 90 blankets after the local government required assistance from Tzu Chi. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and goodbye.